My name is Angela, and I stream for Damage Control Blog, and we are continuing with Supergiant Games Pyre. So let's get this game loaded up, huh? So when I last played last week, we actually did get one victory in, which made me happy because I've been on a terrible losing streak. So I've been getting some more practice in, like I practiced a little bit yesterday and a little bit before bed this morning. But I don't know if that's going to make me any better. I did learn cool things though, where you can actually, I forgot the word. The word escapes me. You can actually, oh yeah, it's bank. You can actually bank shots off of walls to land a little orb into the fire. I learned that by accident. But I did find a team that I think suits me pretty well. Goblin noticed it a while ago because he's probably way more observant than I am, despite me being the one who plays the game. But he says, you seem to like speed, so you should go with speed. So I went with this team full of speedy characters, and they did do a lot better for me than, say, the slower, more defensive characters. As long as I'm able to use them, I'm going to stick with that team. Especially since my favorite Hedwyn's maxed out, his levels are maxed out. So I might as well give some of the other characters room to grow. But again, remember, this game you do not have to finish the rites or beat the rites for the story to progress. I believe you just get a different ending. Anyway, let me take a sip of water because I got a lot of reading to do. And also, Magnus, if you're listening, part of me considered a Fall Guys stream. But I probably want to get a feel for Fall Guys if I ever decided to stream it, because it looks a little intimidating. I really enjoy watching your stream on Friday, and congratulations on making affiliates. That game looks a little intimidating, but I love your tenacity. It was a lot of fun watching. I'm glad I was able to do it while at work. Anyway, let's get some Pyre started. Alright. After you prevailed against the Templars in a narrow victory, there is little time for you to rest, as of yet. The night beckons, and the next rite reveals itself to be a vital one. Oh. It is already time, reader. Come see for yourself. The coldness of the season now presents to us another chance. And yeah, you can feel free to type terrible things. Just don't make them too terrible. Because, you know, I don't want to Twitch ban or anything. He heads off straight away, and you follow in turn. Indeed, among the remaining stars, you only see one with which you are familiar now burns ever brightly. The path to freedom is laid bare before you. Let's pursue it. And yeah, this is not my budding career as a voice actor. I am a writer, not a voice actor. You say, but Angela, you could always take classes or something. And this is true. But I'm glad. I appreciate all of you putting up with my monotone, stumbly goodness. Appreciate it. Alright. Oh man, we gotta take on the chastity, these guys. The sap guy. I remember what his trick is. You gotta take out the main body and not the sap. Whatever. Already are the Nightwings summoned back to Mount Adalel. Picture the rites as a wheel broken free from a black wagon. It is turning uncontrollably and soon shall reach a sudden stop. We should have several chances left for someone to go free. Either us or else our adversaries, but not both. What is at stake each time is further complicated now. I must admit, knowing we have so few opportunities remaining. Those whom we send back into the Commonwealth, should our plans somehow fail, they may look back upon their exile with fondness. Oh, that's not good. And the plan has a 47% chance of succeeding. So returning to the Commonwealth is not inherently a mercy, I don't think. Moreover, there are those among us whom we count on to prevail in the rites. We need them on the Nightwings just as much as we need them in the Commonwealth. I kind of figured that ages ago, because if you send back your best players who are eligible to go back, you're kind of left with weaker team members. So that was kind of a no-brainer. We cannot simply grow our numbers here, given the circumstances. And also, who stays, who goes, these choices affect us all. No pressure there, my girl. Now, I don't know about you, but I shall go and take my leave for now. Let's set forth at daybreak. Oh, hey, Dio. There's Dio. And no, Lurk doesn't do anything, Dio. If you remember, in the Discord, our staff part, where we get staff things done for the blog, I asked Drew, and his reply was, doesn't the having a lurk command defeat the purpose of lurking? So that's kind of where we are with getting a lurk command. But maybe I'll write this down and actually add it, because I think it's a pretty funny command. Anywho, back to reading. Okay, so we got a new page, and we can continue our journey. Lurking involves stealth, like a solid snake. Oh, and there's a Dio alert. I tried, I don't know if I ever mentioned, I tried the original, one of the Metal Gear Solids on PS1. Stealth games are not my thing. I was real bad at it. And no, Dio, you can't be avoided, and you can't hide. But we've established, Dio, that in Drew's streams, you bring him bad luck. In my streams, you bring me good luck. So I'm going to say it's like, it works out. You balance us out. Okay, the Tempers. Myr, the Horned One, formed the Tempers upon his own ideals. Ingrained in his triumvirate are basic truths about the dual roles of strength and gentleness. The Horned One, he has a dualistic nature for as long as he and I consider each a friend. Stories I told you about Myr's youth describe no one I know. All of us are capable of more. I was once an imp that could not write. Myr was once a man that could not think. The Tempers were once ordinary folk. Now they rise to greatness, always striving, never overreaching. They are not like Myr himself. Rather, they are where wished he could be. I'm just kind of stuck on the little imp writing. How does he write? Does he just dip his claws in ink and he just writes it on paper? Does he dictate it to someone else and they write this down for him? I have so many questions. Anyway, we're done reading the book for now. Let me see, poke the crystal a bit. And I'm hoping you guys can all hear me okay. I checked OBS. And I'm guessing from your replies you can hear me. After last week, I'm a little self-conscious about talking here on the mic for like a half an hour and no one heard a thing I said. Okay, so we're going to go to the next Liberation Rite, which again, we have to face off against the Chastity. I've been practicing my butt off, but I still am doubting myself. The fight takes you to where you breach past Stormwall into Deathless Tempest. With the climate and the downside intensifying, you wonder if the storm has spilled forth from its confines and started to ravage the other regions of the land. I don't remember it being snowy last time we visited this area. That's it. Anything else of interest over here? Not really. Even the horsey nest is cold. That's a little bit disconcerting. Alright, and here we are. Fall of Solium. Once more, we sail above the Fall of Solium. The temple to the 8 scribes awaits us at the summit. None have seen the temple, save for those worthy to conduct the rites there, and myself, and my counterpart Celeste. You may, then, wonder whence it came. The cycle of the rites has turned since the beginning of this age. Over its course, while waiting for the cycle's turns, some exiles thus paid tribute to the 8 scribes. I think the scribes may not have wanted such extravagance, or the carved effigies to them along the way. Yet, it is for triumvirates to decide how best to honor the rites. They choose to honor them as you see there. How you remember this, of course, whether you even wish to do so, that is yours to decide. The scribes will not want otherwise. Okay. So I think we need to pick a place to land. Okay. Okay, Dio, if you're still active, do you want to do the Emperor's Ascent or the Emperor's Fall? Virtue will gain favor from the scribes if we land here. And if we do the Ascent, Sir Gilman shall gain favor from the scribes. So, Ascent or Fall? If you're there, I'll give you a little bit of time to decide if you're making a choice. Ascent? Alright, you got it. I've been practicing a bit with Sir Gilman, but I think I'm just dumb because I can't seem to get his snapback the way his Aura Blast. I call it the snapback the way I want it to. I figure a little more practice would help with it. But the other part of me just wants to be done with this game. I'm enjoying it, but I'm also a bit ready to move on since it's not my, as Goblin described, glass of tea. Like, again, this is probably a lot more fun. One of those games where you realize, like, it'd probably be a lot more enjoyable if you didn't stream it. But at the same time, I'm glad to stream something different. And I definitely do want to finish Bastion and check out Transistor. And maybe even the new game, Hades. So we'll see. I guess it depends on how this game ends. I never did end Bastion. You make a landing upon Mount Eldalel, where Volfred pulls you aside while the others complete post-flight inspection. He puffs at his pipe before speaking up. Reader, as you know, I now wear the raiments once again. This means that I, myself, may be worthy to regain freedom in the eyes of the 8 scribes. No, however, that is not my wish to go just yet. It is true I could be of some benefit to our clan back in the Commonwealth, but I feel my place is here for the time being. Perhaps once the Nightwings are on sure footing in their path, my time shall come. Those are my feelings on the matter, and I wanted you to know. I shall, of course, defer to you. Our path is not to contradict the reader's will. Anyway, I trust all of us, yourself included, shall find our freedom. If not soon, then by when all this is over. You guys want to take any bets on how this game ends? Because I have no idea. Do you think like people find a way back into the Commonwealth and they just like storm the gates or something? Or everything just goes to hell and it's just safer in the downside? What do you think? And let me know. Having completed the post-flight inspection, you and Sir Gilman visit the monument of Triesta Thesis in the Emperor's Ascent. It seems that this night's test of honor is just beginning to begin. He is to understand the stars themselves are vanishing. Impossible, he says. For now, how can there be such a thing as honor in this world if the stars themselves won't leave this world behind? Or want to leave this world behind? God, I can't read tonight. Soon he has finished paying his respects. He returned to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Triesta Thesis has shown you favor. You shall soon ascend the mountain, though there is now time to pursue your vocations. Sir Gilman gave one quickness for the next rite. Let's accept a blessing. See, he said. So Dio, you say, I think everything is going to go to hell. Don't have a reason though. Why though? I feel like it's going to go to hell too. That's just how I feel. Like, I feel like the Commonwealth is just going to break apart and they're going to find a way to escape the downside, and it might just be all out war or something. Before that, let's see. Make your decision on which vocation I should pursue, but in the meantime, I'm going to talk to Sir Gilman. Sir Gilman is fuming anger over something, so much so that you're hesitant to approach him, but you approach him anyway. Exile is too light a sentence for this night. He notices you, then seizes up. He begins acting rather nonchalant as though his outbursts did not just transpire. Oh, greetings to you, noble master reader. What brings you to this afternoon? Sir Gilman is attempting to make small talk. Let's see, so do you want to ask him if everything's alright? Such a venting of emotions is uncommon, even for the likes of this particular worm knight. Tell him to calm down. Sir Gilman is making enough of a racket to cause some fair amount of concern. So do you want to ask him if everything's alright, or tell him to calm down? Me personally, I'm just probably just ask him if he's alright. Oh, alright, we're of the same mind. Let's do it. You maintain a gentle tone with him and ask whether there is something he might wish to discuss. Sir Gilman perhaps could benefit from talking through his woes. Now, Magna, why would you put a twerk command on there? We don't have a twerk command. I left. Wait a minute, your sound's off. You can't hear me anyway. So, we have no twerk command. I'm not sure what a twerk command would look like, but I could add that to the list. Just leave it to Magna to cause trouble. He stands there for a time, silent and dejected. But then, Master Reader, this knight cannot escape the horrors of his past. Oh, here comes the backstory. It seems that you would hear them. Then you have this knight's apologies ahead of time for burdening you further with his troubles. Having said that, here are the troubles you requested. I kind of like this worm. I just love how bubbly he is. You are, of course, familiar with the siege of the Spiral Sanctum. For this night, the memory of it is like a wound which will not close. This knight stood there on the front lines whilst the highway remnants descended upon us. So furious was their assault that our chain of command was ruptured instantly. He did get real for a sec. We of the Sea Dominion require orders to perform our duty. Without such orders, why, surely we made a very easy target there that eve. One by one, then two by two, it picked us off, becoming bolder, some of them shrieking with laughter all the while. This night he saw his comrades cast aside like sea flies. How this night survived, he does not know for certain, even now. Perhaps it was that he attempted to pursue and detain his own knight commander, whom you met when you first met this knight. Oh, so his knight commander is a deserter? That cursed Sir Deluge. If not for his craven cowardice, the Spiral Sanctum, it might have held at least a little while longer. But instead, we were routed. Rendered spineless in both form and deed, Sir Deluge was the first to turn and flee as our chain of command crumbled. And as for this knight, he failed to catch his knight commander. He must have looked a coward too. Thus came the time for penitence, and this night, why, he insisted on the only course of action reasonable. He insisted on the sentence to the downside, and as you can plainly see, his wish was then fulfilled. How absurd that he should re-encounter his own knight commander here soon after. Thus did this knight become obliged to once more Sir Deluge. I'm not really sure why. We took to the waters in the Sea of Solace, where soon we met the Pyre, a triumvirate exclusive to our kind. It was plain to see that they lacked the wherewithal, and Sir Deluge thought he could provide it, the leadership they sought, and this was too much of a his was too much of a coward to decline. As for this knight, being of the Sea Dominion, he had little choice but to comply, or so at first he thought. When he encountered you in the Nightwings, something awakened within him. So little honor left to lose, and with so much left to gain, it became eminently clear that this knight stood a better chance within your ranks than those of Sir Deluge. And there is little left to say. This knight cannot escape his past, and yet he chooses to believe that he was spared that day, not merely by coincidence. And perhaps under King Ors has yet planned a store in which this knight may play part. This knight, he clings however vainly to that hope. He slithers away, his head bowed low. It seems best to leave him be for now. He says he feels relieved at having shared all this. And Sir Gilman's bio has been updated. Let's see. We still gotta get his level up. So not bad. Okay, we got vocations. We can forage for resources, study in private to hone our skills, or we can mentor a companion. So what do you want to do? Forage, study, or mentor? Sir Gilman gives his true feelings. He certainly does. Kind of find it interesting he volunteered to go. He is definitely an honorable worm. Whichever I need. I need everything, Dio. But we haven't mentored a companion in a while. So, well, Rookie's almost to the end. In my practice, I kind of learned that I did really like Sir Gilman, even though I can't quite get the hang of casting out his aura, because of the way he moves. I like his speed, so I'm going to choose the worm. This knight has always been keen to take even the barest of scraps of wisdom, Master Reader. Sir Gilman gains a somewhat stronger grasp of how to better pass the celestial orb through strength of will and trust in one's triumvirate through dexterity alone. He nods in understanding. Alright, level up. Look at that. This knight wonders at times about why we are here and which forces have transpired to bring us here together. Has Under King Orders himself taken an interest in this noble quest? Alright, now we got a mastery. Do you want to help me decide, or should I just pick what I want to do? So let's see, we got Stunning Calm. Once per round, when saluting his adversary, Sir Gilman freezes all exiles for 3 seconds. You know, I never pressed Y to salute. Interesting. When Sir Gilman's heroic stand, when Sir Gilman's allies are banished, he moves faster than usual and temporarily has a infinite stamina. Quick draw. After using his slash, Sir Gilman can use it again to instantly return to his previous position. Greater Cleave. Sir Gilman slash banishes adversaries in the wider area of effect. I kind of want to do Heroic Stand. So I'm going to do Heroic Stand, even though Greater Cleave interests me. But I think for my playstyle, Heroic Stand will do me a lot better. When this knight grasps the orb, his instincts take hold, spurring him into greater feats of glory. Okay. Alright, let's continue the journey. Okay, now we got 2 more choices. We can do the Temple High Road. You sense Promethea shall gain favor from the scribes if we take the High Road, or if we take the Cistern, you sense Tizio shall gain favor from the scribes along this route. So, what do you guys want to do? The High Road or the Cistern? Or shall I pick? I'll give you a second. And, Cistern? Alright. And I was also thinking, since the next 3 games on my Trello list are dialogue heavy, that I was thinking of mixing things up with a puzzler game. Back when the event I've named in the Discord called the Smashing happened, a friend of mine reached out to me and he was kind enough to gift me a game on Steam called Lost Ember. And it's basically you play as animals and you solve puzzles. So I was thinking about making that the next game I play after Pyre, and then we'll do To the Moon and Finding Paradise. Let me know what you think about that. I was also thinking of putting it in a Twitter poll to see what people think. But since you guys are the ones tuning in regularly to my streams, I thought I'd run it by you guys first. En route to the mountaintop, you pass by a monument to Under King's Oars, and Tizio happens to take notice. Please tell great-grandfather I said hello, old friend. I hope you're alright. You're alright among the stars. Oh, you can read his thoughts. That's amazing. Okay, so Lost Woods. I guess after the stream, if you guys remind me, I'll try and put a trailer up. You're probably going to see the trailer for Lost Woods, and you're going to say, "Yep, that's an Angela game." Other than our JRPGs, of course, which I played surprisingly few of on the stream, despite being my main jam for games. I just need to find one that's like less than 25 hours. I was also thinking Chrono Trigger would probably work. You must know why the stars are fading out, because none of us do, and some of us, I think, are beginning to feel afraid. Please grant us courage to press on. Soon he's finished paying his respects. As you prepare to continue with your ascent, you sense that Under King Orders has shown him favor. Tizio gained Tizio gained 3 glory for the next rite. Let's journey onward. You and your fellow exiles gather at the foot of Scribe's Gate, before an archway carved with stone, where stands the Gate Guardian. Hello again, Celeste.
Salutium, Ceres.
Greetings to you, Celeste. I see the exiles of the Nightwings have returned, even as the cycle of the rites begins drawing to a close. The Nightwings accept this as the will of the scribes. The Gate Guardian laughs at this softly for some reason. And you, Tariq, do you accept their will as well? But the lone minstrel does not answer her. It is no matter. Now, Nightwings, each of you, come forth and state what it is that you seek whilst crossing the Scribe Gate. One by one, the Nightwings declare themselves, and you all pass through as before. When Beaufort takes his turn, Celeste stops him. You! I see you wearing the raiments once again. Explain. Oh, Chrono Trigger's a great option? Okay, I might have to rejigger that. I think I would love to close out 2020 with Chrono Trigger, because that seems fitting, the way that game goes. That'd also be a lot of reading too, but at least there's a lot of action. Alright, thanks for your input, Magnus. The cycle of the rites is ending. While I do not know why exactly, I have my fears. One of my contemporaries, he who fell from the summit long ago, he lives and seeks his liberty again. He stands against us now and believes his triumvirate to be the true Nightwings. I remember well the contemporary whom you mean, then the Nightwings stand divided. Yes, and so I wear the raiments once again, in case it may help to right this wrong. For I am Wilfred Sandalwood, and I seek the liberty to each of us, so that one day we may all stand shoulder to shoulder on the other side, and bring our freedom to the people there. She considers Beaufort's words for a moment. I see. Then move along. The guardian of the Scribe Gate regards you all, and then she beckons you onward. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth to glory. Celeste? What is it, Tariq? The will of the scribes. Long have we both followed it. I think you would agree. In equal measure, it has drawn us close as separated us. But if their aim now is to keep us apart for another age or longer, then no. I do not accept their will. Oh, spicy. You blaspheme, Tariq, and at the gate no less. But the lone minstrel simply puts his hat back on. Then may the scribes themselves admonish me. Until tomorrow night, Celeste. Blasphemy! Having reached the peak of Mount Adalel again, you cannot help but reflect on whether one of your companions may go free this night or remain stranded in the downside as Promethea did after last time. You mean the last 2 times? Oh, I made myself sad. Alright. Oh yeah, we can't buy anything because we're completely out of money because we bailed out Rookie. Because I lost last right. Alright, Wilfred wishes to talk. Wilfred looks up as you approach and smiles. I never thought that I would say such things, my girl, but it is good to wear the raiments and the rites once more. The march of time does have a way of healing certain hurts. Besides, the Nightwings of today, we are a very different beast than the Triumvirate, which took me in almost a decade ago. Ours was a Triumvirate of exactly 3, while 4 with Tizio, who provided to me an excellent exception, though historically the Nightwings never took on more exiles than needed. I have mentioned my predecessor, Brighton, and my former companions, Iressa and Oralech. Perhaps naively, I hope my time with them will not be relevant directly to what we now attempt. But seeing as our stories are now intertwined, do let me know if there's more you wish to learn of them. Okay, I think maybe we'll be able to learn about all of them, so I'm going to go straight down the list. And my apologies if we don't get more than one choice. But I'm thinking we will after the last time we had a conversation with multiple questions. You inquire about Brighton, who you understand was liberated prior to when Wolfred first joined the Nightwings. I never met Brighton in person, but I know him rather well by now. Though for that matter, my girl... Oh my god. I hope you have... Magna, I hope you have the sound on. I'm using the Xbox controller. There is no circle button. So stop it. This is not Detroit. I'm pretty sure you'll watch the VOD of me yelling at you, in case you can't hear me. I don't know. But there is no circle button. Look here, I got a Y button, an X button, a B button, and an A button. No circle. Anyway, let's continue. Don't give him any ideas, Dio. You stop that right now. So you do. He studied you for your reaction for a moment, then... Brighton was born wealthy, but not special otherwise. You would have no reason to have heard of him. He was exiled for negligent misconduct. I do not know exactly why, and do not care for spreading rumors. I first heard of him through Orissa and Oralech, who found me a suitable replacement following his liberation. They spoke little of him. Oralech gave the impression that they did not see eye to eye, but he assured me I would soon hear from him myself. Indeed, as I became accustomed to the book, which you know by now, I soon began to hear the voice. Oh my god, Brighton better not be the voice. And you're dang right, all okay. There will be no circle button, be no random B button pressing in this game. B and circle, which does not exist. Circle will not be pressed, and B, which does exist, will be pressed as needed. Wolfred looks at you to see if you yet take his meaning. Oh my god, he is the voice. Brighton is the voice. You see, my girl, after Brighton's liberation, he assumed a new identity within the Commonwealth and a new responsibility to the Triumvirate which liberated him. That voice you heard from time to time, whenever the stars align, it's his. Yep. Well, that explains why he called us friend and he hates Wolfred so much. He is no longer Brighton. He is now none other than Archjustice Androbes, what the hell is that? The Ninth himself. Okay, can we get a picture of that? The Grand Judge figurehead under whose watch the Commonwealth is governed in this day. Oh, seems like he made quite a name for himself now, didn't he? Liberated exiles retain certain burdens to their own triumvirates. They have much to thank them for, not just their freedom, but their exalted status in the Commonwealth. Alright, this is not a Sunday where I am good at reading today. I apologize. The theocratic rulers of the Commonwealth, they do not wear masks and raiment simply for the sake of ceremony. They are not who they appear to be. The public pasts are nothing but a fabrication. Like Brighton, they were once exiles too. Oh man, you can smell the hypocrisy. It does feel like a name for a final boss in a Final Fantasy game. Like, I'm thinking Final Fantasy 12 comes to mind with all the judges. Brighton, that voice. He has no love for either one of us by now. He knows full well what we attempt to do, yet he is bound by the tradition of the rites. Take that tradition. He shall always stand on ceremony and complain, but I think he knows deep down that he is powerless. How ironic that one of such high status in the Commonwealth should be so frightened of some long-forgotten exile such as we. Anyway, that's Brighton for you. He must have seen you in the potential to be one of his staunch supporters for a time. If that's the path you want to pursue, I should apologize. Now then, whom else should we talk about? Alright, we'll do Orissa. Alright. You asked about Orissa, who you understood betrayed Oralech in the moment of his liberation, but then perished in the Shimmer Pool. I'm afraid you know about the brunt of it, my girl, but I suppose you ought to know something of Orissa's past, lest you be quick to judge her solely by her actions. Mind you, I would never make excuses for the terrible choice she ultimately made, but her life, I understand, was very difficult. Orissa had been exiled for the foulest of acts. If you can see it plainly branded on her face, such was the hideousness of what she did in the eyes of the Commonwealth. She was an apprentice blacksmith in her youth, taking the post left by her brother, and had fallen in battle on the blood border despite wielding their father's own lance and armor. He had fallen. Her father was never quite recovered after this and had grown cruel and detached. It was Orisa who took the brunt of his fury, expected the impossible of her. One day it was all too much for her, so when he lashed out at her, she, well, struck back. She struck back again, and again. When they came for her, her father was gone, and she was not herself. She was promptly cast into the downside for the crime, where hatred for the Commonwealth only grew. Orisa was always intense in her demeanor, haunted by her father's memory. More than that, her chief motive for wanting back her freedom was, in hindsight, not a healthy one. Okay, so she sounds like Jodie, but like amped up to 11. She longed to be in our nation. She longed to join our nation's enemies, to build for the highway remnants a great siege engine that could shatter the defenses of the Commonwealth and forever end our feud. What she ultimately did to Oralech, it was an act of pure, thoughtless desperation. I do not think it was simply evil, nor do I think it was personal. Just what you needed, Super Jodie? Oh God. I often wondered, though, if in her final moments in the Shimmer Pool she understood what she had done and the depths to which she had fallen. For years, I must admit, I hated her, but now my only hope is that she found a peace unattainable during her relatively short life in the downside and in the Commonwealth. Furthermore, I hope the life of Orisa offers some perspective to those who have not made the same mistakes. Now then, there was something else. Alright, time to ask about the big guy. We asked about Oralech and what he was like when he and Beaufort first became acquainted. Beaufort remained silent for some time. I was very, very sick, you know, when I first landed in the downside. The long trip down the river must have been a little much for me. It was Oralech who found me. He could not have known my capacity to read before he revived me. He was a physician, intolerant of the sight of suffering of any kind. Not just any physician, mind you, a gifted, highly decorated one. He served on the front. Back then, skirmishes erupted frequently, and those such as Oralech, they had to deal with many casualties on either side. In time, he grew repulsed by what he saw. He sold in his heart a yearning for an end to all the bloodshed, so he tried to use his status to negotiate a treaty with the High-Wing remnants. It must have gone about how you expect. He was given direct orders to return to the front. When he refused to soil his hands again, they cast him to the downside. Here, he gained notice of the Nightwings, and before long he grew to be one of the finest rites conductors anyone had seen. He was instrumental in the liberation of his companions, whose roles in the triumvirate were later filled by Orisa and me. In time, Oralech's own opportunity for freedom had come up. He longed for it, so that with his exalted status, he might stand a better chance of negotiating peace. However, on the evening of his liberation, well, you know the story from that point. Beaufort breathed a heavy sigh. He and I were kindred spirits for a while. I cannot bear to think that he was gone, and now I cannot entirely believe that he is back. He is our adversary now, transformed, grown cold. Still, part of me is happy that he lives. Well, I think anybody'd be kind of bitter and have a chip on their shoulder if you thought you were going to ascend and be free, but some selfish chick just pushes you all the way, and you almost fall to your death, but you somehow live, and then you're alive long enough to grow demon horns. That kind of sucks. Although it would have been interesting to meet Orisa. Whatever her name is, Orisa. Yeah, who cares? But yeah, it would have been interesting to meet her. Making no mistake, of course, I shall not be swayed against our plan, not by Oralech or anyone. As I have said before, we share a higher calling now. As for Oralech, he wants his freedom, still, although I wonder if he remembers why. Anyway, was there something else, my girl? Nah, I think we're done. You bid Beaufort a good afternoon and leave him with his memories. My pleasure, reader. Reflecting on the past from time to time helps demonstrate how far we've come and yet how much further we have to go. Alright, I think we read everything we can read. We don't have any money. We are flat broke. I guess we can see. But you know, it wouldn't be the same if we didn't talk to Falcon Ron. Hey, I'm guys, so like I don't know what's going on up there with all them stars acting real weird and stuff, but let me tell you something here. You ain't gonna find a better deal on all the stuff from anybody. I mean anybody in the downside. You can trust me when I tell you that, okay? So go ahead, stock up. Oh, we're so broke. So, we're broke, so we're gonna skip that part. Come back when you're gonna buy something. I can't, we're broke. Nah, no deal, we are broke. Bank account is on 0. The check is about to bounce. We're not sure how we're gonna pay rent broke. Well, so let's get started on the rites. Once more you have gained the fall of Solium, where one among you may go free. But first you shall have to prevail against the chastity and the Liberation Rite. Reader, your companions are gathered here under the fall. They shall be counting on you. Indeed, as the cycle of the rites turns ever faster, so too our plan is set in motion. My agents in Commonwealth are beginning to cause a bit of stir out there, and word has reached higher places that the rites are ending. Uh-oh. This is our chance, though let us not despair should victory elude us here. We shall make the most of whatever the scribes may have in store for us. That is to say, good luck, my girl, it's time. So we've been reading for almost 45 minutes before we got into some action. I hope you guys are enjoying the story, because sure is a lot of action. Action is not this game's point. It's more RPG visual novel than RPG. And the sky is completely filled with the Titan stars. We won't accept any of their deals, though. So we have to decide who's going to go free. But then I think we only have like 2 or 3 people eligible. Nah, that curse was a big mistake.
The Nightwings gain the summit of the sacred Mount Aladiel to conduct the Liberation Rite, even as the stars themselves abandon you. Make good upon these final opportunities, reader. This glorious age-old tradition coming to an end upon your watch. I trust that chastity, your adversaries, shall not throw away this chance. Choose now who may go free, should they unfortunately fail.
The pyres burn and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. I concur. The pyres burn and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. Then, anointed one of the chastity, come forth now and declare yourself and pay any respect you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. Toasty! Good one, Dio. Manly flourishes onto the ground and grasps his mask in his spindly fingers. Warmest salutations to you all upon this blessed eve. I am H. Manly Tenderstaff, and I must say that I'm very moved to be a part of these proceedings. It shall be my humblest of privileges to return, quite soon I hope, unto the Commonwealth, where I shall dedicate myself in full toward to the betterment of that society. Learn to read, Angela. I long to be a part of this glorious tradition, even when my freedom is rightfully restored. For it is not the case that the exiles, such as we are called upon to lead. How you govern in your commonwealth is not our business here. Your intentions shall mean nothing if you do not prevail in this right, manly Tenderstaff. Oh, but I meant no offense. Meant no offense at all. I shall serve well these rights, I promise. Why should I think it shall be sending many exiles here into the downside to replace me? Oh boy. I can quite think of a few who I would benefit from experiencing this wonderful tradition for themselves. Alright, this guy's a douche. The manly covers his face again. Now, as for you, Nightwings, make no attempt to undermine me here, and nothing shall befall you or your loved ones in the Commonwealth. Is it a deal? No deal, you lying tree sap. Tenderstaff. Tenderstaff, Tenderstaff, Tenderstuffed, Tender. Nightwings, your decision. On whose behalf shall you conduct the Liberation Rite? Reader, I would ask you to choose wisely, but I'm sure you know no other way. And you, prepare your song, Turek. Of course, Celeste.
Whom do you intend to liberate?
So, let's see. So we only have, looks like 3 choices. So the last couple times we've been trying to get Promethea, which I know is pronounced Pamitha, but I like Promethea better. We're trying to get Pamitha out of here, but we can also do Hedwyn or Rookie. Part of me wants to say Hedwyn since he's all leveled up, but then again, he's still a pretty good asset. But who you guys want to do? Harpy, Human, or Puppers? Which means I won't have them in the rights anymore if we win. I'll give you a moment to decide, or... I mean, me personally, I'm thinking... Yeah, of course they're all your best characters. Do you think, like, let's just send this loser off? I think that's the point of the game. Like, you build up your best characters, and they're the ones who are worthy of going. I guess Hedwyn. I'm gonna take that off real quick before I forget. I'm gonna miss Hedwyn though, if we win. I mean, there's a good possibility that we won't win. Let me just pick a good one for him. Okay, so... Well, I might as well just use this one to him. Get this one. Well, annoy Hedwyn. This is my shot to go free, but I can't just leave the rest of you.
Who shall lend him support?
I'm going to choose Rookie. Oh, it makes such a disgusting noise. You hear that? Ah, sounds like wet meat flopping on the floor. Let's see. We're going to use Joe. What the hell is this thing called? Jomer's Fang. We're going to use that. No comment. You got it, sister. Let's get him out of here. And let's see. Let's see. I'm real tempted to take... I'm kind of stuck between Sir Gilman. I'm going to take Sir Gilman. What do we have equipped on him? We're going to take that off. What did we get? Mooncrest. I wonder, did Sir Gilman have anything specific to him? Let's see. Okay, and you have to use the bands together. Ash and Coal. Let me see. This might help us. Oh no, this is gonna work. Alright. Alright, let me stretch a little bit. Get my shoulders limber. That's too limber because now it hurts. Give me a sec. I'm getting old. By this nice honor, he shall fight with all his might.
The choice is cast.
Now it begins. Do me this favor, if you please, and stand aside like a good sport there, I promise to reward you handsomely once I am free. Pretty sure it's all lies. Whew. Let's see if we do any better.
Commence.
I didn't make it. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, alright. Thank you, Dio. I'm trying my best. Toasty! Ooh, toast. Alright, come on. Come on, Angela. Give me a second. Getting nervous. Oh ho, what's this now? It seems to me the scribes so enjoy our company, the entertainment we provide, that they have denied to reignite our pyres. Observe. Something stirs in the sky, as if the heavens are to rain and reignite your pyres, and then the rite shall continue. One pyre or the other is put out. Jeez, I can't read. Oh, you mother! Oh, you cheating bastard! There's the adrenaline. Damn. Ah. Ah. Ah, miss it. Ah.
Flames grow weak. How fine. Banished one and all. Rookie threw it in. I wonder, shall the Nightwings press their luck?
Yeah, you damn right we'll press my luck. Ah, I couldn't jump. Damn it. Got it.
Rookie doused the adversary's flames.
Oh boy.
Beauteous.
I really? Oh, I jumped too far. I overjumped it. Ah.
Alas.
Hey, at least I'm making a more exciting game. Ah.
Orbs unclaimed again.
Ah. Good.
Now take it.
Go outside. Wow. Ooh.
Shame.
I'm trying.
Your pyre shall soon be ashes on the ground. Goodbye, Hedwyn.
Ah. Wow, can't.
Glory to the scribe.
I'm trying, guys. Come on, grab it. Really? I lost that one. Wow. Damn it. Wow. Alright. Ah. Come on. Wow. Alright, at least we managed to tie the game up. Fuck, yeah, I won! I actually did it!
The Nightwings proved their worth. They surpassed their adversaries in the end. Thus ends the liberation.
Do you think my practice has been paying off? Do you think my practice has been paying off?
Tribes have chosen.
See you, Hedwyn.
The exile appointed by the Nightwings shall be free, absolved of all misdeeds, return to glory in the Commonwealth. His adversary
thank you,
and
Dio.
all others shall remain to carry out their rightful sentence.
Well, I actually did what I said I was going to do by practicing. I tried it with the difficulty cranked up to extremely as high as it would go, and let me tell you, that was frustrating. I did not win any of those games, but like I said, I learned a few things which I haven't had a chance to implement because of the fast-paced nature of this game. But I learned you can actually bank shots. Like, maybe that's something I'll try and keep in mind, but I did it by accident. It was pretty cool. Like, I thought I missed it, it hit the wall, and it bounced off and flew into the Pyre. So I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Anyway, at least we run a right. So maybe our plan will succeed, so that's 2 victories back to back. Why, this is an utter outrage. Have you any idea what you've done, you ingrates? Let's hope no shenanigans happen. You don't tell the story about somebody being pushed into the and someone else trying to leap into their place without that element happening in the game. At least that's what I think. We did it. Then I guess that means I have to go. I broke my vow to her that we would all go free together. Reader, my friend, why would you do this? Will you ever forgive me? Finiki, wait for me. Wait for me. Remain silent for a moment longer, and then... Listen to me, all of you. I will not forget this. If there's anything that I can do back on the other side to help the rest of you, then I'm going to find it. I'm going to do it. And at the very least, I will do everything I can to make sure that by the time more of you come join me back at home, that it will be a better place for all of us. Look, I don't have long now, so just thank you, all of you. I won't forget this. Then he plunges out of sight into the shimmer pool. His voice is audible but growing faint. It's happening. Goodbye, my friends. Reader, everyone, goodbye. Until we see each other. Hedwyn earned back his freedom. May he return in glory.
Godspeed, Hedwyn.
Okay, yeah, I admit, it actually feels pretty good to win a game. And I want to say a hard-fought battle, too.
By their grace, may the cycle of the rites keep turning for as long as possible.
Alright. Alright, leveling up pretty good.